Guys, so we're back from KBF meeting. Myself, Jimmy, and our guy Eric both was like, hey, you catch anything, let me know. Jimmy sent me with the credit card.
Literally.
Not metaphorically. And I would have got some stuff myself, but big thanks to the blendery, my guy Tim. Tim was like, we'll crack everything. And I got to tell you, because I'm so used to the blendery, and even in the next episode, you'll watch us talk about this root beer. This is my thing. When the blendery, and it's a single barrel. We ain't gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna do it, but I'm gonna tell you this.
Jump the gun, player.
I know, because I'm like, that's the one.
We geeked on that.
Hey, but the Penelope and the rye conversation we're about to have is going to teach us all a little bit more about rye, mash bills, etc. But we're going to crack a Kentucky Bourbon Fest only release from Penelope. Hey, beautiful. Luxor was gorgeous. The event was just
They got a nice campus, don't they?
Some of that stuff, you just like this. I need this kind of money. I need the kind of money where I can just be sitting in a rick house having someone bring me my food, smelling wood and whiskey. Hey, one of the places we walked in, he said, take a deep breath before you walk in here. There was so much alcohol in the air, you couldn't breathe nothing but ethanol. Yeah. And it was like pungent. It was like you're getting punched in the nose by corn and ethanol.
The cookhouse where they're cooking?
No. It was the spot where I took a picture. I said, yo, take a photo of me with the barrels. Tim took a photo, I think, with his brother. And then we saw some other stuff I can't say in there, on camera at least. But it was the house where whatever they do, I don't know what was going on, bro. I just tell you this.
Were they mashing in?
Well, it was barrels in there, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they got to fill them, you know.
I'm going to tell you this.
Where they cook it, probably.
Take a deep breath. I can show it on camera. I can show you guys. Because this right here choke you out. And I was like, godly, dude, that's crazy. You feel the alcohol, like literally. It's like if you went into a steam room, but it was just booze.
They're cooking it. They're cooking the mash.
They was cooking something. So, Jimmy, you're a KBF person. You haven't been or had the pleasure yet. But what about Penelope and it being a rye? And did you hear on the phone? Because I didn't tell Jimmy about this.
I don't even know. I don't know shit about it. Honestly, bro, I just was like, I looked at the list. This is a bourbon.
Oh, Chad texted you the list, didn't
Yeah, so this is a bourbon, a 10-year bourbon, and it's just the estate collection.
So you didn't get the 12-year rye?
I got a 13-year Founders.
Was that one of the rye?
No, that's a bourbon also.
Whichever one the rye was that we cracked.
That's the one Tim got, which is 16-year, 95.5.
17-year, 19-year.
16-year MGP 95.5 rye is what he had. And it was a Penelope.
All I'm going to tell you is this, guys. I drank all the whiskey that they bought there. and to be clear, it was not unimpressive.
Well, you didn't drink during the day. You drank at night when you got home. Yeah,
because I was just like, guys, if I'm not doing a video, meaning I'm in the video, I'm not drinking it. Trust me, all they want you to do. Trevor, you thirsty? You sure? I'm like, Buck. Wait till we get Buck on. I'm like, Buck, it's fucking 11 o'clock in the morning. You've 6 pours in, bruh. And let me be very clear, when you get to Kentucky, they heavy-handed.
But it's a drinker's holiday there. Like, you gotta understand.
Holiday?
Yeah, this is a holiday for people.
They have these cups like this. It was a cup with a dash in it. They gave... It was so much. And we're talking like, hey, let me get some of that King. Let me get... I'm talking like they were pouring it in like, yo, this is crazy. 2.5 ounces neat.
That's what I'm saying. That's why when you come, that's why I get pissed though when the restaurants here they don't pour. You better pour me a healthy one because back
in the morning,
up there,
144 proof.
Yeah, man. Hey.
No, and I'm talking. He was 6 pours.
Look, they don't call him Buck Wild for nothing.
I said, Buck. I learned something new about you, buddy. We don't know how he does it. Him and Rubel, we gonna get Rubel over here when he comes back in town. Him and Rubel, they said we got to see these guys go do it because. That Joker Buck was up whistling the next morning. He went to bed at 3 o'clock one day and he was still going.
Well, dude, when you drink that kind of booze, bro, you wake up feeling all right, man.
He's normal. He's been normalized. I said, Buck, you drank 135 to 140 for 3 hours straight. And it's just 12 o'clock, man.
Yeah, man.
So, Jimmy, go ahead and do the honors.
I think we should crack that. It's a bourbon, and then then we can go off with the rides. Yeah, the rides will be a little bit more pronounced.
Feel free. My questions are very simple. I know that people love rye, they love bourbon, and I think wheat's a huge seller. I think when you get into barley, it gets a little bit more like, oh, you like barley? That's interesting. And then, of course, when you get to...
the malted barley?
The malted barley is a whole nother category. We go, ooh,
gross.
Malted barley? That's a little bit tougher. But the rye, as we know, Tim's converted so many I don't like rye people to, you should try this. You go, damn, that's a 95.5 rye, and we found some 95.5 rye barrels at Green River.
That was a good one.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, some people was like this. Tim, I'll put my name on that one. That was a banger.
This is not the blendery, so you can pour as much as you fucking want. Just kidding. No, but seriously, pour as much as you want.
What's the proof on this? Now, you guys, couple things. What do people chase more? Proof or flavor? What's the thing that people...
I like both. I like it when it has a good flavor, but it doesn't have to be crazy strong. I do like hazmats. But I'm just saying, it doesn't, as long as it's, got a good flavor profile, that's why I like Michter's. Michter's will give you a 98 or 94 proof, 90, 100 proof, and it tastes delicious, right? But I do like a little oomph in mine. I like a little octane.
I would say most people chase flavor.
Yeah.
Because they get caught off guard by the proof. They're not used to the luxury we have with trying so many, either here or at the blendery, is you can do side by sides, small pours. You're not committed to buying anything.
Isn't that great?
But you kind of you focus on the flavor and you ignore the proof. So there's so many whiskeys that might drink hot, so they drink hotter than the proof. Or there's a lot of other ones, especially at the blendery, that drink under the proof.
100%.
So the proof is kind of it's tricky and it scares a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when you give them a whiskey and you say this is 125 proof, the first thing they go is,
they're scared, dude.
This isn't going to be. This is too much.
They're thinking like Bacardi 151 or something terrible.
I'm going to be on the floor in 10 minutes.
But honestly,
seriously,
some of the 125 proof buzzes are so much cleaner than if you was to drink a couple Jose Cuervo 80 proof. See what I'm saying?
He said Jose Cuervo.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Anything 80 proof, bro. Jack.
Anymore, I find
Crown.
I think anything under the proofs that we've had, I can't taste it. I think this is fucking water, bro. It looks like water.
This is like candy.
You're going to get into some lower proof ones here, right? So we'll see.
Now, guys, seriously, what do you like about Rye's? What makes Rye's unique? I don't know anything about Rye's, so please
103.
Please do explain, because I'm here to learn, and I'm pretty sure people watching are too. And now, I leaned into, I said, I'm going to quit pretending like I don't know. I've seen a lot of whiskey in the past year, people.
You're learning a lot.
Not only that, just think about this. I've been at the blendery at least 1 day a week, which means 52 times 2. So
sometimes 2 times a week.
I always go twice a week, so now I'm just lowballing. If I went to a whiskey house and we ask questions, we do videos, and I post it almost 2 to 3 times a day for a whole year straight, to act like I don't know about whiskey is almost foolish. And now double it up, now we've got 100 plus days. It's almost half a year of me, and then
plus fucking with me.
These guys keep showing up, so I'm like, okay, let me just stop pretending, because I've got more knowledge than I presume, but I'm behind the camera learning. I'm asking good questions, and everyone who was there were like, dang, Trev. The guys who know Tim were like, hey, I've been with Tim 100 hours before you ever showed up, and I feel like I learned something about him in every video that you post, and I can't help but watch.
That's good stuff.
It matters, but I can't thank these guys enough, because now I think we can take it to the next level. I think we could take everything we're doing to the next level.
We're headed there.
It's happening. There's no way around it. Like, we're already talking about next year KPF, and the Patreon got launched for Tim. He said, Trev, do you want to start one? Hey, we need to get you going on this. And it's like, all right. And I've got the guys that I could sit with and talk with and create something with, plan stuff with, execute things with, because they're going to love whiskey more than me. I just love science and stuff, but they love science too.
Well, you like putting shit together too, watching shit work. So
now we got to do blend. Now I'm like, fucking, now I got to go in here and blend. I got to do all this shit.
And I love it, motherfucker.
I don't. If I did, I would have done it now.
You pretend to love it.
No, I don't pretend. I cook it better. I like food better. I'm going to tell you this. I'm a food person.
That's why we did booze and food.
That's why I say it had to be with some food. Otherwise, I'm like, man, who want to drink all day? I don't know how they was doing it. But they did it.
I would have fit right in, dog.
Tell them anything you can about Rye's, what's important, what's not important, what you like about them, things people should know about.
So I'll start off. Went down a journey with bourbon first, and in order to be bourbon, it's got to be at least 51% corn. But in a lot of bourbons, rye is the primary secondary grain.
For sure.
Whether it's 10%, 21%, 36%. So that rye component adds the baking spice side, a little more on the oomph, a little more pepper than the peppery side.
Pronounces itself, right?
Yep. So when you get to the rye, what makes it a rye is it's got to be at least 51% rye. And there's a whole host of mash bills that go into ryes. We're going to hit some here that are fairly ryes. 51% rye. Pikesville, Rittenhouse.
Yep.
Sazerac's a little higher.
Yep.
H. Taylor's a little unique in my opinion. And there's all the way up to, there are 100% ryes, which I don't have any along, but I do have a couple of the typical 95.5s that we go to. So there's a whole host of ranges for the rye and how much rye goes in the mash bill, and then as a complement to that is how much corn goes along with that. So the corn kind of balances out a
Sweetens it
little
up
more
a little bit.
sweetness and softness. So
and you got, this is a Sazerac rye barrel pick, it looks like.
it is.
So it's a barrel select. And now Sazerac is doing a new offering with 100 proof.
Correct. It just came out with it.
So that's kind of another thing to note, folks, is that there is a new 100 proof Saz. And Saz is a cool one.
What makes Sazerac so special?
Well, Sazerac is a cocktail, and it's a French cocktail, and they actually used to use cognac. But in New Orleans, they switched from the cognac to rye whiskey. There's a whole Sazerac house down in New Orleans. We'll have to go visit it when we go to Tikva.
Oh shit.
We'll shoot down to the and we'll go hit the Sazerac house. Cool little spot. But yeah, man, it's interactive. You'll like it because it's a tour that's interactive. So you go sit at the bar, and like the mirror in front of you will light up, and it's your bartender. And they make the drink, and then somebody virtual comes and brings the drink. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Have you been there?
I have not.
It's super cool. I suggest anybody that's in New Orleans hit that spot up in the French Quarter and check out Sazerac House.
So that's where the name comes from.
Yep.
This comes from the
Sazerac family
Sazerac family. Now it's in the Buffalo Trace
lineup.
So Buffalo Trace produces it.
And it's actually now Buffalo Trace is Sazerac. Like it. That's the I think that's the official name is right. Like the ownership of it.
Yeah, the
Sazerac company or something.
Company, I think.
Yeah.
Jesus, so what should people be looking for in rye? Why do you think people dislike rye so much?
I don't think people just like them. I think neat they're scared of them. I think they use them in cocktails a whole hell of a lot. Mm-hmm. They're really good in old fashions because you can taste the whiskey, but it's not too much. And I think some people are just puss in boots. They want crown. They want sweet.
Shorts people. I did a whole video about that.
They want sweet, easy, mellow Jameson crown, the stuff that gives you a headache the next day.
Yeah. Great in cocktails, great in Manhattan, great in the Sazerac cocktail.
I love this. Is my favorite out of this whole lineup. The H. Taylor. Hands down to me, it's the best out of them.
You like that one? That was special?
That one's unique. Let me run through these real quick.
Go ahead.
Rittenhouse and Pikesville.
Yep.
They come from Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill, yep.
Very similar mash bill from what I understand. Rittenhouse is 51 corn. I want to say it's 37. No, it's 51 rye, 37 corn, and 12 malted barley. Pikesville is 51 corn, 51 rye, 39 corn, and 10% malted barley.
Yep.
Rittenhouse is bottle and bond, which means it's at least 4 years old. My guess is it is 4 years old.
I think they're both bottled in bond, aren't they?
No.
Oh, okay, this one's 110, isn't it?
Pikesville is 110.
Yep.
So I believe this is 6 year old. So
it's good.
2 extra years, 10 extra proof points. Gives it a little more punch. It's a little more well rounded.
I like the Pikesville a lot.
Yep.
Rittenhouse for me, it's a good one, but it's more for my mixers, for my cocktails at home.
Great in a cocktail.
Yep. And then this Pikesville is for if I want to drink that neat, I'm gonna have it. Like that's
$25, $50.
Exactly.
What is I guess what are you guys' favorite cocktails? Why would you make a cocktail when you got whiskey this good?
Well, you do it for others.
Do it for others. Do it for more of an experience. If you're having a meal or you're having
for
people
pairing.
over, more of even if
Social gathering.
social gathering hors d'oeuvres. It's having a cocktail without having a.
Because you don't want to. Here's the deal: if we're drinking neat whiskey all night long, I mean we're gonna be hammered quick. So to sustain, it's good to mix maybe a good cocktail. I don't do them a lot. I might do one as a starter, get my palate going. Like you said, in a pairing with a dinner. something like that. But yeah, I mean, you can't drink fucking neat whiskey. I mean, you can. Technically, I do. Beers and whiskeys, but it's like, you know, when you're out and about or you got company.
So let me ask you guys this too, man. How do you guys feel about, and again, I'm asking because I'm trying to understand, all the unique brands on it, because I'm like this. So for instance, one of the bottles that dropped at Penelope was a Heaven Hill product. So I'm like, what is that?
Heaven Hill what?
Product.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
Which one?
Penelope's a brand that gets sourced by MGP. This particular batch is Heaven Hill based in terms of the recipe. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
That's where you got to keep up with the sourcers because they can switch up. And then, dude, it depends on the year. Just like the VVS, this year it sucked. Last year got bourbon of the year. So it goes to show you that you can't really chase labels as much as you got to just wait and try. I want to get lucky, try to get
like through both of you. And mind you guys, these guys are going to do a segment in the corner because I'm going back and was rewatching it myself. Very good job. Just teaching, because I said the more I learn, the better I can ask questions. I'm already good at asking questions, but I'm like, if I'm going to implement myself, I've always had a page to post the stuff that I've recorded over the past year about whiskey on Instagram. I'm like, why don't I just do that? Point is how do you develop your palate to get to a point where you really know what you like? Because naturally or initially, whiskey just tastes like whiskey. You go, boss man. I forgot to put that over the body. Whiskey's just whiskey, and then I bumped into some connoisseurs, a whole lot of them. And I said, what about whiskey do you like so much? It's all different. And I was like, I guess that is true. Because if you go to a shelf, you see all the brands, all of it tastes different. I'm at the whiskey blendery. I know for a fact it all tastes different because I've dug in 5 barrels and none of it tastes the same. How do you develop your palate? How does your palate mature over the years? And then where would you want someone to start? Is it proof or is it in the flavor? What's your favorite brand?
I would say there's similarities obviously amongst distilleries. So whether it's Wild Turkey, Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace, a lot of have different lines or lineages that feed into it. And profiles are similar because mash bills are similar. Like Buffalo Trace has 2 primary mash bills, plus the wheated mash bill, plus the rye mash bill.
Mash bill 1 and 2.
Mash bill 1 and 2, the wheat and the rye. So there's a lot of lines that feed into that, but there's some uniqueness about where the barrels are stored and which ones are single barrels and which ones they release as bottled and bonds. But my suggestion would be to try different entry-level, what I'll call entry-level bourbons or ryes from different distilleries, and then try different lines off of that, whether it's a Wild Turkey 101 and then the Wild Turkey 101 rye, just to understand what the different nuances are between them and a Heaven Hill and some of the other ones. So like Rittenhouse is a perfect example. $25, not a big investment if you got to go out and buy it.
Same with Saz, right?
Same with Saz. This is more readily available on the shelf now than it used to be. That's around $25 too.
Yep. Damn. And so they're really good, especially the barrel picks. They're good, dude.
Yep. And the Wild Turkeys,
same thing.
Same thing. They're $22 to $25. So you can. I feel you can get in relatively
cheap,
inexpensive, economic for
economically
solid whiskey.
Bro, the Wild Turkey 101 rye is killer.
At reasonable prices if you have to commit to buying a whole bottle. $20 to $25.
We need to do an episode of keep it under $25. Well, we bring our favorite 25 or under banger.
I think you guys will like that. We found one at Green River that Tim tried and goes, "How much you sell this for?" $35. I was like, $35. Shit, if I buy that barrel, that motherfucker going at least to 80.
Yep.
And it was like, even mind you, I had a few pours at Green River. It was super good whiskey, and it was a surpriser. But when we got to we go digging 14 barrels, and then they give us a tasting. They're like, "Hey, now we want you guys to sit down. It's all poured." And we're like, "God damn, boy, how are we supposed to do this?" He's like, "What are you guys even tasting?" Mm-hmm. I think that number 2 or let me see 4, whichever the second one we tried, it was like, it was blendery quality. It was blendery quality, and it made Tim's eyebrow peak. Like, "Oh, how much is this one?" We sell this nationwide. He's like, "This guy, if I get those barrels." Those are good ones. Those are good ones, but it goes to...
Well, you can take that juice and elevate it as well.
Facts. That's for damn sure. So rye is something that I guess you either have an acquired taste for or you don't, because I've heard,
No, it's not true though, because here's the thing. I think it all has to do with how your palate grows. and how involved you get with it. Like, so it's more or less like, look, if you're a newbie, you want to get in the game, I say start cheap. Start with these basic, like Eric said, basic ones. The bottom line up. It doesn't mean just because it's economical and it's a low price that it's not good. Old Granddad 114. The what else? The other ones we just spoke of. Wild Turkey 101s, the rye and the regular. Russell's Reserve 10-year. All these are bargain bottles. You know, you can get for relatively cheap. And then as you find your swim lane, then you check out. Then you do some research and find out the mash bills that you really like. Yep. Then you start learning. Oh, I really like finished whiskeys now. You know, you start to learn all this. So it never stops. It's a constant evolving, and it's like, to me, it's almost gourmetish. Like, I love food, so it's like trying new whiskey for me is like trying a new dish.
Yep.
It's a liquid dish, you know.
And I didn't know that. What was you gonna say, Eric?
Well, what I was going to say is, pay attention if you can, or understand the different mash bills when you get into bourbons as well. To understand, like Buffalo Trace, it isn't. They have their mash bill 1 and mash bill 2 out there, but it's not necessarily published or very well known. There's estimates as far as what goes into it.
Yeah, it's proprietary, right?
So for them, from what everybody's saying, is their low rye bourbon, which means their secondary grain after corn of rye. A low rye bourbon to them is anything under 10%.
Yeah.
A high rye to them
is 20.
Is right around 18 to 20. Now you get into some other ones, like even some of the barrels we brought in from
36%.
36% rye.
In Indiana, that's a high rye.
That's a high rye.
In Kentucky, that's insane.
You know
a low rye would be 21. So you got that whole range where
it changes.
bourbons.
I caught rye, the grain itself coming out of the like we picked it up off the ground and chewed on it, man.
Oh yeah.
That shit was like
it's like rye bread. Have you ever had rye bread?
It was. I didn't record me, but all of us was like, he was like, and it was so fresh.
Did you eat it?
Yeah.
It tasted.
It was like a sunflower seed. You couldn't really crack, and then it finally cracked. But it was so.
Give me the flavors though.
You can see Jimmy like,
that's cool to me. I wish I could have tasted that. I get into that kind of shit because then you get the grain taste before it even the process of it. And
MGP and saw the grain moving. It was a blower that they used.
Jeez.
Going from here to there.
So cool, bro.
And we grabbed it. We're like this. I was like, Chance, you gonna eat it? He's like, it's like this shit. I put me a half on.
Hell yeah, man.
I was like, damn.
That's cool.
This is good as shit. And it had a popcorn component to it.
Yeah, toasted.
It had that toast. It had like that wheat thing going on. And it was just and as you basically your saliva paired with it, you a little bit of the dill, but it wasn't there, so you want to eat a pickle, but it was like, damn, this is a good grain here,
grassy.
man. And we're grabbing it right off the fucking metal. That you're standing on, like, fuck, let me just try this
cool,
shit.
Bro.
It was, and we didn't do the corn thing, but the corn was right there too.
I would have tried the corn.
And you like to,
shit,
dude, it was
pooping that shit out the next day.
Hey, I'm gonna try. Why we poop corn? I'm like, we not gonna
Remember, trying that shit.
Hey,
That's
it was
cool,
it was an experience,
so
and
fun,
I could tell you. And they don't even do tours unless you are someone who sources from it. So
it's
like
a big deal.
someone who's just like, hey, I want to do MGP. No, don't work that
They don't
way.
do that.
They not letting you do that. You're not walking in there.
This ain't Buffalo Trace, player.
Hey, and even there, I think they limited. We got unlimited access to a degree. We didn't get to drill in barrels or dig in, but we got to see everything. And Tim got to put a face to a name in terms of where things are at.
Yeah.
Even them having to buy the back building so that we could. That his favorite lot is in the back. And it was a lot that they basically have 1 million barrels at MGP.
Screw top.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. So what's the difference between the screw top and the cork?
Usually it's
Preference.
or usually it's price.
Yeah, price too. But Weller used to be screw top.
They
for a
still
long
have two
time.
of them. They got the Special Reserve that's screw top, and then the Weller 12.
But they used to all be
Yep.
screw top. But then they were cork before, so
Yep.
it fluctuates.
Is there anything else people need to know about
Maybe it
rye?
used to be a screw top.
And would you agree with Jimmy that this Colonial
Colonel. That's Taylor.
Well, what I was going to say is, as you move through your bourbon experience and try the different bourbon mash bills that go all the way up to, you can get high corn.
Oh yeah.
80%, maybe even higher, 90%.
Oh, yeah.
So 90, 80, 70.
Just like the
barely
95.5 Ryes, I think that's probably my favorite rye.
Same thing. So we have a lot. We've enjoyed a lot of either, I think, 60% corn, 36% rye, 4 malted barley. Then you get into these barely ryes,
Right.
51% rye, 35 or whatever percent corn. And you're not too far off from what you had as a bourbon. It just kind of elevates the rye spice a little bit. And
It's like a bull rye almost, right?
so yes, it's almost like a bull rye. And then when you're starting your rye journey, if you're trying to get into ryes, you can drink these barely ryes, which a lot of people call them bourbon drinkers ryes.
They are.
Because they're not
They're
too far
softer.
off from there. They're softer. You don't necessarily have to jump into the 95.5s, although
Dude, some of
proof.
those 95.5s.
the whiskey blendery is proof.
Hey, look,
People that don't
Anything
think they
goes.
like ryes, they end up leaving there with a 95.5.
Anything goes with those, dude, because they bring so much different flavor compounds and profiles. It's just like, where does this shit come from, dude?
we can't make it make sense, man. And I'm
It's the
telling you
wood.
this. I don't even know what's that, man. It's something else because
grains, the wood, the
we
environment.
personally tried, I won't say it, so-and-so's barrels that were the same barrels Tim gets, and it did not taste the same.
Well,
And I'm
it
gonna
also
tell you
goes
this.
into the care that he puts into his shit, dude.
Okay, you
He's
said that.
meticulous.
I will say this. This is unique. Would you agree that the E.H. Taylor is the best? Out of those ryes.
Well, we gotta try this one though.
We'll
This
try
is a
them
barrel
all,
pick.
but 51 corn. From what I understand, this one's 55 corn, 41.5% rye.
You mean 51, 55
Or sorry,
rye?
Boy, you said
I
corn
keep
4
backing up.
times. I was like this.
No, he means rye.
55% rye, 41.5% corn, and 3.5% malted
Malted
barley.
barley, yep.
This one, I believe, is a 2 grain. 65% rye,
Corn.
35% malted barley.
Oh, really?
No corn.
I didn't know that.
So
Yep.
that's why
I
a
just
lot of
tasted the
people.
The barley is there because I was doing some malt
Malted
stuff
barley?
last night. This right here, barley is something serious because it is barley.
Yeah, but that cognac finish kills it.
So that's why a lot of people have a love-hate with this. They don't like
me
it
try
because
it.
there's no corn in it. It's all malted barley.
Wow.
I practice all day knowing we're going to do rye, and I keep saying corn. I keep saying corn. It's got to be at least 51% rye.
Ah, there we have it. Now, guys, again, Eric's going to give you another breakdown. I want you to learn as we all go down a journey. Now, these guys are way further along than I am. I sit back and record and try my best to enjoy the journey. But even still, before I'd be like, oh, it all tastes the same. Now I'm like, this tastes different. This tastes different. And I tried the E.H. Taylor, skip the Sazerac. That tastes different. And then I could pour Parker's. This tastes completely opposite of everything. And get this, it all looks like Coca-Cola. All this looks like Coke, but it don't taste like it.
That A&W root berry, that's a little root berry though.
There you have it. We're going to do a blendery segment and get back into the rye. Keep it whiskey, guys. That's good, man.
Oh, that's the